Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come on today and do a dedicated review for a concealer, which I barely ever do. I do foundation reviews all the time, but I feel like this concealer warrants its own review. I don't anticipate this video being very long, but I did want to tell you my thoughts, show you how I apply it, and see what you think of the finished product. So, we are going to be talking about the brand new First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. So it comes in a packaging like this. I was sent the light color from Octoly in First Aid Beauty, and then I also got the entire collection from First Aid Beauty. So comes like this. I've already taken a couple of the products out. Unfortunately, the color range is only 7 colors. That is not very large at all. The deepest color is called Deep, and that's it right there. So I do think that they could extend the color range, but if you do fall into the 7 colors that they offer, you may or may not want to look into it after you see the results of it today. This is the color 1 Bone, so that's the lightest color. So you have the lightest, the darkest, and then 5 colors in between. So the packaging also came with a Kona eye stick, which was placed right about here. And so we're going to talk about that too. But first, let's talk about the actual claims of the concealer, cost, all that kind of stuff, and then we'll get into actually applying it. Okay, so first let's talk about the Kona eye stick because that is intended to go on first. It's $24. It comes in this packaging right here. So it's just, you pull it up and it almost looks like a chapstick. It's just a clear kind of white balm consistency. And basically it's to give tired eyes an instant pick-me-up. It's a cooling, invigorating 3-in-1 eye stick that hydrates, depuffs the under eye while simultaneously working as a makeup gripping primer to perfectly prep skin for smooth concealer and eyeshadow application. So they're saying you can use it under the eyes and on the eyelids. I did not use it on the eyelids. I have not used it on the eyelids. Sorry, can't tell you about that, but I have used it under the eyes and we will use it today. It says it's infused with superfood Kona coffee to diminish the appearance of puffiness and dark circles, along with aloe water and cucumber to deliver a cooling aqua burst sensation. The radiance boosting balm effortlessly melts into skin for a wide-eyed, well-rested look. So this is $24 and it's 0.13 ounces. So I like that they have coffee. I am a believer in caffeine in under eye products. I do think it is a temporary fix for puffy eyes. And this, when I first swatched it, it's not going to come across on the screen, but I swatched it on my Instagram stories when I first got the package, and it is a little bit radiant. Again, you're not going to be able to see it on camera. So we are going to use that under one eye today to see if we think there's a difference between the concealer with the Kona eye stick or the concealer without. So now let's talk about the concealer. This is $22 for 0.17 ounces. So I brought out my little concealer drawer here, and I'm going to go through some of my other ones and see how the size compared. So my Philosophy Renewed Hope in a Jar is 0.34 ounces. So that's twice the amount of product. The Dior is 0.20 ounces, so still just a tad bigger. The Stellar concealer that I love is also 0.20 ounces, as well as the Bobbi Brown Full Coverage. So it's just a little bit under what I would consider a normal concealer consist of. If we're not talking about like Tarte Shape Tape and Too Faced Born This Way, because those are huge. But $22 is not excessive either when some of those can run to be like $30, $40. Okay, so let's talk about this concealer. It has avocado oil, caffeine, Tremula fusiformis sporocarp extract. If I pronounce that right, I should get something for that. It's a mushroom extract that boosts skin's moisture content and helps it appear plump and smooth. Let's see. It's packed with nourishing, clean ingredients. Another reason I love First Aid Beauty is because, for the most part, they do have clean ingredients. So the vitamin E and the mushroom extracts are going to help smooth and hydrate, while the caffeine helps like the puffiness. The buildable makeup meets skincare formulation, covers blemishes, blurs imperfection, and combats dark circles. Finally, a concealer that bends over backwards for your skin. Okay, so I have not tried this over blemishes because I haven't had anything to cover. But I am going to zoom you in and we are going to use this. So I have my foundation on. I do not have concealer on. If you can see, I'm going to get a little up close and personal with y'all today. I do have quite a bit of darkness. I typically always use a color corrector. Today, I'm not going to use a color corrector. We're going to see how this really works. So first, I'm going to put the Kona eye stick under one eye. I don't know that it really matters which eye. Let's just put it under my right one. And I'm just going to put it right where I'm actually going to put the concealer. So it is very cooling. I'm going to tap it in. But upon first application, that's all I can really say about it. It is cooling. It does feel good. It doesn't tug at the under eye. All very important things for me. So I think I've been using kind of a mixture of light and medium, but I think I'm just going to do light today. So when you open it, it just has the typical doe foot applicator. So I'm going to apply it under this eye with the Kona and then under this eye without. So what I have found is that I can put it on under both eyes and not have to worry so much about working fast. It does not dry down so fast that I have to worry about doing one eye at a time, which I appreciate because I don't want to have to worry about stuff like that when I do my makeup. So I'm just going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to lightly tap it out. Now, I will say the first couple times that I tried this concealer, I forgot to wet my beauty blender. I was in a hurry. I just didn't want to, and I ended up using the Japanese concealer brush. It worked really well with this brush. Really well. In fact, I think I might use it on the other side. So that's tapped out with a beauty blender. And then I'm going to take this brush and just kind of lightly tap it out. Now, you may find that you want to go back, but my point is some concealers don't work well with brushes. I feel like it kind of takes all the product away. I don't find that to be the case with this one. So this says it's buildable. So that's upon first application. I'm going to put a little bit more just on the darkest part of my troughs. That's what I call them. And blend it out. Okay, so I probably should have told y'all, I am, if you don't know, I'm about to be 38. And if there was one part of my face where I had a little bit of self-consciousness about, it would be my under eyes. Because like with all of us, they age before pretty much every other part of our face. So what I look for in a concealer now, I mean, it's not what I look for a year ago even. What I look for now is something that is not going to sit under my eyes like makeup. It's not going to crease throughout the day, and something that's not going to age my under eyes. I'm not necessarily looking anymore, and this has changed quite recently, honestly, for full coverage. I'm not at that point in my life where I need full coverage pretty much anywhere. I just don't want it. I don't want it to look like makeup. So keep that in mind, but I'm going to show you. This is the concealer without corrector. I personally am pretty impressed with the coverage without corrector, especially for how very lightweight this concealer is. It is so lightweight. I would be bereft if I did not mention that. Honestly, without a corrector, I think this did a pretty good job. I'm going to go really far in and see if I can get how close. And hopefully this isn't too dark. When I look at it, I don't necessarily see a difference between this eye and this eye where the Kona stick was. Keep in mind that I don't necessarily have a ton of puffiness, so I can't say how the Kona stick works for that. I think if you did have more puffiness, you would benefit more from this. Otherwise, I don't know that it really does much for how the concealer lays or stays put throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my makeup. I'll set the concealer and then I'll come back and show you one last time the results and I'll give you my final thought. And you can see I set it with my original Mer Powder. I can still see some darkness in there. I'm going to touch on that. But you hopefully can see that it doesn't look creasy or cakey or really like I have much makeup on at all underneath my eyes. So that's the concealer. Let's talk about my final thoughts real quick. I flipping love this concealer. And I know y'all are probably looking at me and like, but it's really not covering that much. Why do you love it? Personally, I do think it has a nice light to medium coverage. And don't forget that I don't have corrector on. And honestly, I do typically wear corrector every day. There have been a couple of days this week, because I have been wearing this for 7 days straight now, that I have not worn corrector. And I've been fine with the results. But obviously, it's even better coverage when you are going to put a corrector on your face. However, like I said earlier, I'm kind of past the point where I want it to be super obvious that there's makeup on my under eyes. This, I don't feel like looks like makeup at all. And it's not because it doesn't cover, because I feel like it does cover, okay? But it's because it does have some kind of like that, the reason they call it bendy. I truly believe whatever technology they have in it that makes it bend with your skin and not crack and crease, it works, because that's what it does. Throughout the day, it never cracks, it never creases. It never looks any different than it does right now. I just love it when I get something in my eye halfway through filming. All right, well, my eyes are just going to look bloodshot, but I got to get going. I have somebody coming to my house for makeup in 30 minutes. So it just doesn't look like makeup throughout the day. And I have so many concealers that I love when I first put it on, but then like 6 hours later, it's had a chance to settle, or it's had a chance to start mixing with the powder that I've set it with, and it just starts to look like makeup, which makes me look older. Anytime you look like you have a lot of makeup under your eyes, it will age you. That's why I love this concealer so much. I also find that I feel like it looks like it covers a little bit more when I wear a darker color closer to my skin tone. So when I do mix the light and medium, I feel like I get even more coverage. Just keep that in mind. You can go, I'm trying to think if I have any, I don't know that I have any videos that I've posted that I've worn this, but I'm just gonna have to assure you that it looks even better than it does now with a corrector, even though I think it looks really good right now. So I like this concealer so much because it kind of conforms to your skin, that I would knock out another concealer from my top 5 and include this in it. That's how much I love it. And I would probably knock out, y'all know I hate doing this because I feel like I'm cheating on my makeup. I would probably knock out the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Stick Concealer. I still adore this concealer, but it does have a tendency to sometimes crease, where, like I said, the First Aid Beauty actually does not ever. So that's probably what I would change it out for. So I love this concealer. Can you tell? If you are anyone over the age of 25 who wants natural looking makeup, not cakey, light to medium coverage, buildable, because I do find it's buildable, and works well over correctors, I highly recommend this. Plus, it's got cleaner ingredients, and it's got skincare infused. I mean, you really can't ask for better than that. Obviously, this is not sponsored. They did send it to me, but y'all know I'm going to tell you the truth. So as I always like to do, I like to include, I'm like flashing y'all my bra today, sorry. I like to include whether or not I think this would work on mature skin, and I think it would be fabulous for mature skin. Like fabulous for mature skin. Definitely give it a try. So I think that pretty much wraps up. Can you tell I like the concealer? Because I do. I think I said at the beginning of the video, this wasn't going to be a long video. It's probably 20 minutes long. Sorry. I just can't control it. Hopefully you enjoyed it though, and at least found it entertaining if you did not learn anything. As always, subscribe and like if you don't want to miss out on any future content. I thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you go out and have a very blessed day.